Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And for those folks who are here are wondering why we're talking so much about the poster, you know, I've run a couple of small businesses, and I can tell you that quite legitimately, small business people fear these things. We do. I did, because quite simply, I was always afraid that I didn't have the right ones on the wall, or I didn't have the one that was up to date, or that I was, to this point before us, missing one. That somehow the government had come out and required me to put up a new poster and forgot to tell me, or I didn't find out. I didn't join NFIB to find out whether or not I needed posters or not. I was too busy running my business to try and follow the regulatory actions of the Federal Government. And, of course, if you don't have the right ones, you're in a lot of trouble. You could be fined, you could be penalized, you could be in a lot of trouble. Negligence per se not to have these things up on the wall. So it is a serious issue to small businesses, and for that reason I'll continue on this topic that some folks might find to be trivial. Mr. West, you mentioned before you think employees should have the right to, that they should have the right to know what their rights are, right? I think that was your testimony.
Correct.
That was you liked the poster, you got no difficulty with it, it's free. How did you find out it was free, by the way? I always paid for these things. How did you find out it was free?
It was posted through the Sheet Metal Workers International when we, in one of their little blurbs, that this was a poster required, and it was a free download.
Gotcha. Did you pay for the other ones, by the way?
No. Yes, I did. The OSHA ones you do pay for.
And the minimum wage ones you pay for.
And the folders, yes, you do pay for those.
You know, they've also got the right to quit their union. That's mentioned in very small print in the document. Do you think it would be a good idea to talk more about that on the poster?
Well,
it's their right, isn't it? We go into a long list of how you join a union. Don't you think there should be some balance there and show how you get out of your union if you don't like it?
Well, I think if that is taken care of at the union level. They go through their procedures, so it's pretty easy to get out of a union. You just stop paying your dues.
Yeah, but the whole idea behind this is to let employees know what their rights are as employees. They have a right to join a union, and if you want to join a union, here it is. This is how you do it. So why not have the same thing on there about how to get out of your union?
I would think if you were that concerned about it as an employer, you would put your own piece of literature together and state your facts and put it up beside it.
What if you were concerned about it as an employee? What if you were an employee who just didn't want to be in the union? Where would you go? I mean, where else would you go to find out how to get out of your union?
I would assume once you start the negotiations, you vote not to join the union.
Right, but wouldn't this poster be a great place to put it there? It's there in your lunchroom.
I wouldn't have a problem with it. I didn't design the poster, but I mean, you know. But I do think the employers have the upper hand as far as the negotiations go.
These employees have got other rights, too. They have rights to free speech. They have rights to Second Amendment rights. Can we put those on the poster, too?
No, sir.
And why not?
We should already know about those. We have a Constitution.
Exactly. So why is it that we have this document that shows them rights that they should probably know anyway?
Well, my feeling of this whole issue is it's just a poster, and if the idea of this is that the NLRB has been so successful and is so biased toward unionization and organized labor, how come for the last 3 decades all we've done is lost membership?
Because this poster hasn't been around for the last 3 decades.
I don't think the poster is going to make a whole lot of difference. I think we're wasting a whole lot of time on it.
Now, there's other things that list here. It says under the NLRA, there's a long list of things that it's illegal for your employer to do. Which I guess is fine. Don't you think maybe then in order to have some balance, we should have a list of things it's illegal for the employee to do? It's illegal for you to do drugs. It's illegal for you to harass other people. Or do you think they should know that anyway?
I have a poster similar to that. We, in our out of Sheet Metal Contractors Association.
Is that required to be put up by the NLRB?
It is not.
Do you get fined if you don't put that poster up?
No, sir, I do not.
Do you think the NLRB should be balanced between employer and employee? Or do you think the NLRB exists to defend the rights of the employee against the employer?
I'm certainly not an expert on what the NLRB does, but I would assume that it is there to generate fair and equitable labor practices. And if they're doing that, then I'm assuming that they're doing what they were designed to do.
If you're an employee and you're dissatisfied with the way you've been treated, if you think your rights have been violated, you get free legal representation from the NLRB. Do you think if you're an an employer who has been wronged by the employee or even by the union, that you should get free legal representation from the NLRB?
I don't think you would.
You don't, under law. I'm just wondering if you think that you should. You're an employer. If you thought your unions had wronged you, that they struck you legally, do you think that the NLRB should represent you, give you free legal representation in that claim against your union or against your employees?
I don't think they give free legal.
I can assure you they don't.
They don't give free legal advice to the unions either. The unions hire their own legal attorneys, and so as a signatory, if you're wrong, you should hire your own attorney. Employees are a little different level, I would think. Maybe an employee doesn't have the financial wherewithal to hire an attorney, so I could not have a problem with them giving an attorney to an employee.
All right. And finally, do you think I should have to join? Don't get me wrong. I love the NFIB. I love small business associations. Do you think I should have to join the NFIB in order to know what my legal obligations are as an employer?
I do not.
Are you a member of the NFIB?
I am not.
Thank you, Mr. West. I appreciate it. I yield back the balance of my time.